and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 14 of the Athletes Project, here live from the Cub Content Studios at Pull Tab Sports. Second episode for the Athletes Project, back with it. I'm Davis Plifka, alongside my co-host Tanner Zolnowski. Tanner, how you doing today?
So pumped for this. Let's go. We're back at Pull Tab. Couldn't be better.
Yep, me and Tanner back as high school graduates. So
Man, done.
Life's moving quick, but not going to make the people listening wait any longer to get our very, very special guest, actually a relative of Tanner. Today we got on Mr. Quinton Hooker. Went to Park Center High School, scored 2,000 points there, won Mr. Basketball in 2013, then went on to his college career at University of North Dakota and led them to a March Madness appearance where they played the University of Arizona. And he's about a top 10 ranking guy at every category they have based on Wikipedia.
Yep.
And now he's playing professional overseas, and he's played 7 years there. He's going on 8. So, Quinn, thanks for coming. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, guys. Really
Awesome. So this is pretty interesting. This is our first professional guest, I think, Tanner.
It is. Yeah, it is. And I'm very happy it's my brother-in-law.
Yep.
Hey.
So
let's go. Shout out, Julia.
So Tanner is actually the uncle of Quinton's kid.
Yes.
Yep.
How's Tanner as an uncle?
You know, honestly, he's great. You know, he came out to France this year for 2 weeks and, you know, got a real life experiences, I think, you know, not only just being an uncle, but just, you know, watching after some kids sometime. And, you know, the kids love him. Ez and Naya, they love him. And he's a great uncle. He's a fun uncle, of course.
Yep.
You know, spoils
the fun uncle, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, boy, Tanner. So, I mean, you're overseas, but we're here back in the States. When did you get back? What's life kind of looking like right now?
You know, we just got back a couple weeks ago. And for right now, I mean, this first couple weeks back is purely chilling. It's, you know, after a 9-10 month grind of being overseas and finally being back home, it's, you know, seeing family, seeing friends, hanging out, you know, decompressing a bit from the, you know, the struggles of the season. And, yeah, just really kind of just enjoying being back in Minnesota. I mean, this is the best time to be in Minnesota, right? So just enjoying our time being home.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. How is that process in terms of traveling? How does the team deal with that? Are you able to, do they pay for your ticket and stuff to get back? And
Yeah. I mean, as far as traveling, that's all done in the contract and everything as far as, you know, before the season. So for the players and families, you know, it's really just, yeah, they cover the tickets to get out and everything. Yeah,
that's the most interesting thing I love about playing overseas is they pay for your house, car, all that type of stuff. So
yeah. I mean, most of it. I mean, it depends on, you know, where you're at and usually the type of budget the teams have and whatnot. But yeah, as far as cars, plane tickets, usually the more years you have over there too, the more leeway and negotiation you can put into it. But yeah, no, it's a lot of love.
How much stuff are you bringing overseas from? I mean, because you're living there for 10 months.
Yeah. Wow, you'd be shocked that it's this year we had I think we had less because we had family come out, and so we were able to give stuff back as they came out. Like her mom and stepdad came out. You know, my mom was out there for a couple weeks towards the end, so your dad was out there. Yep. So like, you know, each time somebody came out, okay, we give them at least half a bag of stuff, and we still had 6 checked bags, like 4 or 5 carry-ons, you know, a stroller, 2 car seats. Yeah. So it's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Where are you training at now? I know obviously you're still decompressing, but when you get back into training, where are you at?
Usually in the summers I'm working out with game face training with Da Vinci Jordan, as well as this last year I was at Athletic Gains with JD Jones and Tyus Jones, Trey Jones, you know, Anthony Tucker, Jordan Taylor. I mean, it's basically a guard clinic.
Yeah. Okay.
And so we're out in Athletic Gains, and I'll probably be doing the same thing this year as well.
Do you play in any like games? Is it pro-am?
Yeah.
Pro-am?
Twin Cities.
Yeah. This year the schedule's a little tight, you know, especially with traveling, you know, and a few weddings and stuff. But yeah, no, the Twin Cities Pro-am is where I've been at every summer. It's great for not only just us athletes, you know, as pros and college guys, I mean, high school guys as well.
Yeah, the free tag, a former guest.
Yeah.
Played Quinton a year, I think.
Yeah.
A couple times.
Free tag, man. He's tough, man. He's gonna be great at Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a great time there. And other than that, really, it's just, you know, working out, open runs and private runs and stuff like that too. But yeah, I mean, working out at Park Center and stuff like that. Yeah.
Speaking about Park Center, let's go back to your high school days. Obviously, you led Park Center. Was it their first state championship to be in?
Jeez, I was just throwing.
It was, right?
Like, I'm pretty sure it's in like 25 years, because we had at that point it was like 25 years, because we had a reunion at one of our like final games. There was a whole the last team to, I think, go to state was at the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it had been 25 years, something like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was wild.
And that was the year you won Mr. Basketball.
Mm-hmm.
It's just awesome. How was your high school experience? Let's talk about that.
Man, I'm getting old now, man. It's actually crazy seeing you guys just having, graduating and about to graduate as seniors. And, I mean, the high school days were amazing. As you guys know, like, these are the guys you grew up with, the, friends and family that, get to see you play every single day, every game. They were supporting you and everything. And high school was, wow. I don't know. It was one of those surreal moments, because it was being able to grow up with, my best friends, and having that grind, and knowing that since basically, I started a little early playing JV and varsity, 8th grade, 9th grade year, but from sophomore year up, it was us. Like, we had our sophomore year, like 1-2 seniors playing with us.
Yep.
And so really it was just building from then. Like, a sophomore year we were 500. The next year we were, whatever we went
pretty
to
good.
section. Yeah, pretty good. And then we go to
yeah.
state, and, number one team in state, going to the, championship. I mean, even though we lost in the state championship, it was one of the most surreal moments, just being in the Target Center, and really just up until that point too, just, the constant just, atmosphere in the community.
Yeah.
It was.
I even remember, like, going to games and stuff. It was just crazy. Everybody.
You were like 8.
Yeah. I've known Q since I was like 2. But
No, it really was. I mean,
yeah.
it was such a great experience, and honestly, such, just a blessing to be a part of, and just seeing how, God can really work in somebody's life, and in a community's life.
Yeah.
Especially in a place like Park Center, where there wasn't much, I would say, basketball success in a long time.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of great athletes before too, but a lot of athletes also transferred and went away and stuff like that. So it was pretty awesome to have those moments, and still be friends with all those guys.
All of them. Yeah. I saw Devin yesterday.
yeah.
2 days ago.
Yeah. Exactly.
What was so your senior year you win Mr. Basketball? What's the process of that? I mean, it's a pretty cool thing to say you are. What's the process of, in the moment, and then once you win it, and even like now today, what is it like saying you're a Mr. Basketball award winner?
It's it's an honor for sure. It's pretty crazy to think about sometimes, and it's just one of those things that it just kind of was a combination of everything coming together, of all the hard work, all the people saying you can't do this, can't do that. He's an undersized 2 guard that can't even shoot or whatever. Like, it was just there's a lot that went into that, and honestly, even to this day, it's pretty awesome to have that. And really, there's so many people that get credit with that. I mean, first of all, my parents, my family. Like, I mean, my dad was with me shooting at LA Fitness at 10 o'clock at night. It was like, hey, you want to get some more shots up? And like, yeah, Dad, like, this is what I want to do. And that whole process was pretty crazy too, just because at that time, I mean, we had like Andres Broman, who scored like the most points in Minnesota history. I think to this day, his brother Bjorn, I think, is the second closest, and it's still like 1,000 points on. Man averaged like almost 50 points his senior year, like, and so it was a pretty crazy, I don't know, award to win, and even to this day, and it's really cool to see the guys that win it each year, and it's just like it's a pretty obviously elite group, and something that I'm grateful for, and it was God willing it happened, and it's pretty cool.
How is it watching Park Center basketball? Kind of, I know after you left, kind of slowed down, and now they're the best team in the state every year. How is it watching back as an alumni, seeing the success?
Man, it's amazing. Yeah. It really is, because it's just in the culture now. It's a winning culture
basketball
over there.
School,
yeah, and people know that when they see Park Center, they got some hoopers for sure over there. And I think it's just kind of something that we wanted to build, and that's why we stayed while we were there. instead of going to De La Salle, Benilde, Osseo,
Totino,
like, you know, Totino, like, I mean, everybody was leaving. And, you know, we just wanted to create a culture. And I think the school, the coaches that, you know, came through did a great job as well. You know, Coach Ware is doing a great job with the guys right now too. And it's hey, every year, every year, you know, we got hoopers all over the place. Another Mr. Basketball in Braden, Carrington. And
he's at the Gophers now. Or he transferred.
He just transferred.
Even Cash, Chavis going to it. He might have decommitted from Washington too, but he's a big time recruit, like guys like that. I love seeing that, especially like Aiden Memene. You remember him?
Yeah.
He's on the team now, and he's an old best friend of mine. So it's fun to see.
Exactly.
So after that, high school years, you decided to go to North Dakota. Walk us through, I mean, the decision to go to North Dakota. What were kind of the other options? What maybe were you looking for in a school?
At that point, North Dakota was my first offer, actually, in my junior year. That was my first offer. My old AAU coach, Gamelli, was an assistant coach there. And was like, hey, Q, you're going to come to North Dakota. And I'm like, at that time, I'm like, there's no way. Like, I'm not going to North Dakota. Like, what? Like, you know, no, it's cold up there for sure not. And, you know, through the summer, I ended up with, you know, 13, 14 Division I offers. And they're all mid-major, no Power 5. Like, you know, Minnesota called me like once. You know, the other schools, you know, Iowa, Wisconsin, you know, just letters and stuff like that. And the process to really go to UND was, you know, it felt like family. It felt, you know, they were the first ones to be like, hey, like, we want you. You know, even though they had offered early, they were at every single game. Like the head coach, Brian Jones, G, like, you know, they were there. The other assistants, every single tournament I was at, they were there. Like, you know, like, hey, like, even though we know that you're going to be like a high level player, like, no matter what, we think we have a chance. And, I mean, especially as a Mr. Basketball winner too, people were almost like confused as to why I would go to North Dakota. But at the same time too, it was like I had all mid-major offers. It wasn't like I had you know, Nebraska or something like that. And really for me, it was, you know, one of the ADs at Park Center said, love those who love you. And I mean, they were showing a lot of love. Shout out to JT. I mean, he, you know, put a lot of help into my recruiting process. And yeah, I mean, from there, it was just knowing that they wanted me to come in there and make some noise.
Give us insights of Division I basketball. I mean, experience. How hard is it? How fun is it? Give us insights.
Oh man, I mean, it's difficult, especially at the mid-major level. I was a freshman going into a situation where there were 6 seniors, and you know, I worked my butt off through the summer and through the fall to where the coaches were saying, hey, we don't want you to redshirt anymore. Like, we want you to play. And as a freshman, it's kind of surreal too, because you're going up against guys that are 22, 23.
Old man.
Yeah, like some guys, I mean, 24, 25 even at that case, because they went JUCO, had a redshirt year. You know, you're playing grown men.
Injury.
Yeah, like 26. You know, it's a whole different level. And that freshman year, I mean, you'll see, like, I mean, freshman year goes by quick. Like, man, it is, especially at the, you know, at the D1 level, it's the change of pace, the you know, mental, physical, you know, emotional, like being away from home too. It's a lot. It's a lot of in school on top of it. It's a lot going on. But you eventually adjust. And I think the best ones, you know, are able to adapt. I mean, at the same time too, you're, you know, at that level for a reason. And I think trusting your abilities is the biggest part.
How was your relationship with your coach at North Dakota?
It was great, really. He had a lot of confidence in me. He knew that I was working to be a leader of the team from day one, even when we had 6 seniors. I think that also helped me a lot too. Aaron Anderson, Jamal Webb, Troy Huff, like those guys really set the tone for me as far as how to be a Division I athlete, how to really excel and put in the time, put in the effort. And really it was, you know, one of those things where, you know, coaches saw my progression. And it came a point after our sophomore year where he sat us all in the locker room. We had a bad sophomore year. Like, oof. Like, it was, I'm telling you, like, we had no fans, you know, because the year before my freshman year, we went to the conference championship.
Yeah.
Lost to Weber in the finals to go to the tourney. And sophomore year, we lost all those seniors, all that experience, brought in, a bunch of transfers and JUCO guys. And it was awful. I mean, but it was like, when you talk about the valley is when you really grow and learn. It was a lot of growing. And it was a tough year. But after that year, Coach sat us all in the locker room, and he pointed at me and he was like, look, this is his team. Like, if anybody has any issue with that, y'all can get out. And I'm sitting there and I'm
giving you confidence.
I'm
What's
like,
up? Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. I know this, but like, okay, cool. Like, this is what I want, and this is what I've been working for. And so, me and Coach Jones, we have a great relationship. And the one thing too, I will give a lot of credit to him was that he had a lot of great assistants working with him.
That's very important.
It is. It's huge to have a good relationship with the assistants and having just a environment that creates, a good atmosphere and a winning culture.
Had UND been to the tourney previously?
No. I mean, no. So as a D1 program, no, because so they were a Division II, and then they did the transition to D1. And so our first time going to the tourney was the first time.
And that was your senior year, right?
Yep, senior year.
Man, I get Q turning Park Center around, turning UND around. That shows you a little something about him.
Changes programs.
How was that experience? I mean, March Madness, it might be one of the biggest tournaments,
sporting
events of all time. How was that? I mean, I had this in the notes. He did drop 26 points too in that game, so he had a great game. How was that? How was that experience?
It was amazing. I mean, it really was another situation where everything had its progression. Trusting the process and just knowing that God's will be done. And honestly, just being in that moment in Salt Lake City. It wasn't even just Salt Lake. It was being in Reno. Right, so Reno is where we had our conference tournament. Yeah, and being on that stage again for the second year in a row of, okay, we need to win to advance, because as a mid-major, if you don't win, you don't
can't
go,
get it.
Right, and so you have your one shot really, and we were again playing Weber, and it's always been for a few years it was us two. We were in North Dakota. It was Jeremy Singleton, Kendall Hill, like us versus them, right, and we were down 6 with a minute to go, right? Down 6 to go to the big dance. Craziness happened. I just remember praying the whole time, like, if it's your will, just like let it happen, like just let us hoop, whatever, and end up happening. That was probably one of the most surreal moments of getting to the dance, of winning that game, going to overtime and being like, oh, we got this. Yeah. Like we really got this. And I remember after that game, I just broke down, right? At Reno, I just broke down on the ground. It was like, wow, like all this effort really just paid off. Yeah. All this trust and faith really just paid off. Like it still is to this day one of those like moments that's just like, wow, this is crazy that it's even happening. I know my dad ran out on the court. He broke through security. Yeah. Julia.
My dad was.
Yeah, your dad has a great timing. He's always
always there. Championship.
Eric has
man, come on.
He is there whenever the time is right. He is there. And it was awesome to just do that for the team and for the community, for Grand Forks as well. Just love that place. And everybody went to Salt Lake. Yeah. All the fans was amazing. To this day I still get chills of being in that atmosphere, looking around Salt Lake and just seeing just green, and just like knowing there's so much love and support no matter what. So it was pretty amazing.
Man, that feeling that you talk about, like breaking down after a win, it just shows that like all that hard work just paid off. And when you get that type of feeling, I've felt that a couple times before, and it's just nothing better. My dad jumped the fence when we beat Minnetonka, broke through, just like you said, came on the field, things like that.
Especially as senior year, just working towards it.
Time.
Yeah, it really was like that Cinderella type moment of like, wow, we really did this. We did 4 years, especially as a senior. This is what we worked for. This is my last opportunity. This is so many other guys' last opportunities before we go pro or go into the workforce. And so, yeah, it was amazing, man.
That's special. What do you have like a welcome to Division I basketball moment?
Oh my gosh. Day one.
Wow, got right into it.
Man, so day one of like actual practice. So the summer and the fall workouts was cool. I'm finding my way, lifting, I'm making plays, and I know I'm it. But at the same time I got 22-year-olds in front of me that are like, "Come here, little kid." Like, you're not him yet, right?
Yeah.
And so finding my way through, but I'm feeling myself. I'm like, I got this. Maybe I shouldn't redshirt, but okay, maybe I will. Whatever. Day one practice, crossed over so bad, I fell, and it was Lenny crossed over right to left. I don't know what happened. My feet just lifted. Boom, hit the ground. Everybody stopped, started dying, laughing, because up until that point I was cool. But yeah, that was probably one of those real Division I moments. Okay, there's one more too. Was my first Division I start was at Wisconsin.
I remember that. I kind of remember that.
Yep. And we basically could be described as creating Frank Kaminsky.
Oh,
it was like his.
We talked about this in France. Yeah.
It was like his coming out game of being who he is, because he had like 44 on us and a big double, was dunking on us, shooting threes, and that was my first start. I made the first bucket. I was like, "Hey, we out here."
Yeah, I remember talking about that.
Yeah.
Who you got? The Mavs or Celtics?
Ooh. Honestly, it's tough right now because the Mavs is hot. I mean,
when you got 30 and 30 from two, Kyrie and Luka, bro.
Kyrie's just shooting the ball so well right now.
It's unreal.
It obviously looks easy, but when you can do that against the best defensive team in the league, like that, oof, it's gonna be tough to stop. Even though the Celtics do have the defensive lineup, they got Holiday, they got Brown, White. Yeah, we're gonna see though.
I'm excited.
I think the Mavs might have a smoother rhythm right now, and their stars are hot. Tatum's a little struggling a little.
Yeah, he's not shooting. Yeah,
but
Brown was going pretty stupid in the last series. So
yeah, he's cooking.
But anyway, let's get right back to you. So your decision to go pro. Walk us through that. Post UND, what happened?
Yeah, so even throughout first thing was finding an agent, and thankfully I had some great connections with my coaches and other guys that were before me that were trying to go pro and stuff like that. Were trying to. There wasn't many guys going pro from UND as well.
Yeah.
There's only a couple guys, and so really it was just connections through my coaches, and honestly agents hitting me up on Instagram and Facebook being like, hey, I'm an agent, check out my list of people that I have, clients, whatever. And from there, I actually ended up going with my coach's agent as well. And I'm still with Michael Siegel to this day, my agent to this day. And he's done, an amazing job at Siegel Sports and Entertainment. Shout out to y'all.
Shout out.
And, it was I had 3 pre-draft workouts with the Rockets, Toronto, and Minnesota. And it was a pretty, insightful experience as far as, having that NBA type of just atmosphere, knowing like, hey, you can get called into a workout at any point. Okay, you have Toronto on Wednesday. It's a Saturday. So this is some things you might, be seeing, whatever. So get prepared. Yeah. Even my first workout with the Rockets, it was like the day before the workout. It was, hey, the Rockets want you to come work out. Like, can you make it?
Get on a flight. Yeah, let's go.
Can I make it? Yeah. What do you mean? Yes, I can make it. So yeah, it was, going through that, and from there it was really just, okay, if I wanted to go overseas or if I wanted to go G League. Toronto wanted me to go to their G League, but at that time they had Fred VanVleet already there. I think he was on a 2-way. And so really for me, it was like, okay, he's literally me type of player, everything. So I was like, all right, let me just go overseas. And, if anything, I can work my way back. And, so my agent, put me in the right spot. Started out in Poland. And, from there, here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
Was it tough to make that decision to go overseas instead of, you could go play G League, stay in the States or at least North America, but you take the hike over the ocean?
Yeah, it was tough. I think the biggest thing was going to be the culture adjustment and being away from family. You kind of got a sense of that from North Dakota, where 4.5 hours, so it's not next door, but it's also like there's some distance.
Yep.
But making that decision to go over and not go the G League route, and it wasn't just for basketball as well. It was financially as well. Like the contracts that the G League was having were not great compared to what overseas can offer, like immediately, pretty much. And And as far as situation, like, I mean, if a G League team wants you, you're going to get a two-way. If you're not, you know, you might get the exhibit. There's, you know, a whole bunch of different contracts and stuff like that. But if you're not a high priority, well, if you go to the G League, okay, guys that are, you know, already on the roster, you know, rookies, second years, they go down the G League. So you might not get as much playing time. So, you know, it was basically, you know, just, you know, an addition of everything that was going on. And it was tough, but it was also, you know, knowing that a great experience was going to await. You know, I was going to be able to hoop as a pro, you know.
Not a lot of people get that opportunity.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, looking at this list, Poland, France, Hungary, Germany, Israel, back to France. Like, how is that, like you said, getting that culture adjustment, but now you did it, what, 5 times? How is that? How hard is that? I mean, I said this before the podcast, but, like, he's my brother-in-law, and I get to visit them, so I love it. But how do you like it, and how is that cultural adjustment?
It them first few years, especially Poland, woo, man, that was an adjustment. I'll tell you that. The first time I went into a grocery store, I got a big cart and everything, and, you know, was like, all right, I need to stock up because I'm here, whatever, let me just get adjusted. Get everything that I need, get to the front. There's one person checking out in this little, like, you know, neighborhood grocery store in Poland. And I look around, everybody else might have 7 to 8, maybe 10 things. And I got an entire cart and I'm here speaking English, you know, and I'm mixed too, right? So they're like, who's this black guy just, you know, speaking English here and in this random, you know, store. And so that was kind of my, like, first moment of, like, wow, I'm really overseas right now. You know, I don't know the language, and it's Polish. It's not, you know,
Spanish where you can kind of get around. Yeah.
So you know, and different foods, different atmosphere, but you learn to embrace it. And if you can embrace it, just like anything else in life, if you can embrace it, you're going to make the most out of it.
So cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that, I mean, now it's just, okay, we're going back over, you know, we know certain things, we know. And too, I mean, technology makes things a lot easier. There's Google Translate, there's so many different apps and whatnot. But yeah, it's, you know, if you can adapt, you'll be all right.
The fast food in Europe, you don't go up to the cashier or whatever, you do the, so you don't have to speak their language. You just press the
the little kiosk.
Yeah.
English.
Do you still like? Do you want to come back here and play in North America, or have you kind of found a love going overseas and playing there?
Yeah, I think for, you know, especially for my situation too, and as far as basketball itself, like, I mean, you look at the NBA and if you're not 18 to 20, 22. 22 is now old. Like, they call Anthony Edwards as if he has been a 10-year vet. And my man is still 22, 23. Same with McDaniel. Like, you know, so I'm 29. So me getting back would be pretty crazy at this point. But for us, it's really just, you know, having that love for, you know, embracing the culture, for, you know, gaining experience, and being able to do what I love at the same time. You know, being able to, you know, make great money, play basketball, see a different culture, live in a different culture. And it also helps that I have an amazing wife and Julia. Shout out Juju. And
she probably told him to say that.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Shout out Juju.
As soon as I left, she was like, you better say something. Yeah. No. But, you know, honestly, she's been a blessing too. Just being able to travel and, you know, embrace the lifestyle as well, because it's not easy. It's, you know, firsthand, there's been a lot of times where it's been like, you know, do I love this enough? You know, do we want to really be here? And usually it's Julia as well being like, hey, like, snap out of it.
Let's go.
Come on.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you need to relax, or, hey, you know, we're here for a reason. Let's embrace it. So, yeah.
Has she gone overseas every year with you?
Since the first year,
yeah.
She has really, and she, you know, graduated college in 3.5 years, teaching degree, double major. Like, she smart, right? Did everything and wanted to be a teacher, but, you know, sacrificed that for, you know, us pursuing, you know, what became our dream of, you know, living overseas and seeing the world, and, you know, doing that. And I think that's something that, you know, is, you know, I hear a lot, the most important decision you'll ever make is, you know, who you marry. And I made a pretty good choice, you know. Guys, look it out.
No, I mean, you guys were 22 when you moved to Poland?
Yep.
To be, I mean, with your high school sweetheart and going to another country, it has to be just an amazing experience.
Yeah.
But that's really awesome.
Yeah.
What's the favorite country that you lived in?
it's really tough because I would say right off the bat, I would say it would have to be between Israel and France.
Yeah.
You know, Israel was awesome. I mean, obviously they have so much going on right now with the war and, you know, just so much, you know, it's really sad to see, mainly just because of, you know, so many innocent lives getting affected by it. And for our family, you know, that's where our son Ezra basically grew up for the first 2 years of his life. And we loved it. I mean, we were in a city called Herzliya, you know, amazing people, amazing culture.
Great team.
You know, great team, like, you know, great environment. Like, I mean, the guys on that team, I mean, you know, are
still talk to them to
some of my best friends this year. I mean, to this day, and, you know, just the atmosphere there was amazing. Food was great. You know,
that breakfast place, my dad always talks about it.
Oh yeah, Benedict's. Yeah, it was amazing. It's amazing. And and then I mean, France is also amazing culture, amazing place to be. People are great. Food's amazing. Easier for family to get to. I mean, every year we've been in France. I mean, the 2 years we've been in France, we've had 20 visitors or something like that. So it's pretty awesome.
We appreciate you for letting us come in.
Of course, always got a room.
Always got a room to school.
Oh yeah.
What are some of the things that you've learned from? I mean, now you step up on the pyramid from D1 to professional. What's kind of some more things that you've learned? Insight with professional, and maybe another welcome to professional basketball story.
Oh man, that's tough because I mean, especially overseas, you ask anybody that plays overseas, man, there's so many stories. You're gonna have good stories, bad stories, everything in between. I think first off the bat would be, just one of my first ones in Poland was we were on a road trip to some small city in Poland, right? And at that point too, our entire lifeline is Wi-Fi. Like, I mean, to any type of connection is Wi-Fi. So we get to the hotel has horrible Wi-Fi, right? Like the worst. So you can't do anything. You can't even try to set up having an international plan for the day type of thing. And I remember just tripping out, like, why am I here right now? Like, how are we? And, our team wasn't too good. We were losing and stuff. It was one of those all bad moments. And we ended up winning the next game. I had a really good game. And I was like, all right, I guess this is why I'm here. But, yeah, no, I mean, from going from college to pro, it's even more of a mental game. Because, I mean, especially at that point, too, everybody physically is about the same or, around the same, right? You have some freak athletes and whatnot, but similar to how it is in high school to college, it's another step mentally. And it's not even just within the game as well, but as far as being able to handle everything outside the game, how you work your free time, how you continue to, figure out the business side of the industry as well. And I think that's something that, I really learned in my, fourth year, right after Germany. I signed again to a German team. And it ended up not working out within like I was there for like 8 days. It's like, I'm sitting in the apartment. I'm calling Julia because she's not even there yet. Her and Ez aren't there yet. And I'm like, how are we in this situation? Like, whatever. Like, this is crazy. And I'm like, wow, is my career going to be like finished? Like, I'm, thinking like this might be it, and I just had a great individual year in Germany and, just trusting God's plan and staying like true to who I am and knowing that there's going to be a better situation ahead. There's going to be a better door open. And, mentally knowing that the work you have is going to pay off led us to Israel. And that year end up winning, cup final, going to the finals, meeting lifelong friends. And so mentally is definitely the biggest thing, knowing your identity.
I want you to talk about the European basketball atmosphere and fans, because I know when I watched 3 games in France, they were unbelievable. But I know even in Israel and other countries, you don't see anything like it over here.
No, I mean, the closest comparison that, American fans would see would just be how, I don't even know, I guess college
football. Maybe,
college football would probably be the closest thing, but it's a different level.
It's like European soccer.
Yeah,
if more people know European soccer fans, like they're just nuts.
Yeah, completely nuts. I mean, I've seen guys hanging off, for our cup final game, like, there's guys hanging off the top rafter type thing, hanging over the edge, flags, flares, garbage being thrown on the court.
I've watched games
crazy.
where there's smoke in the stadium, and I'm just like, what? You can't even see. I can't even see the players. It's like they're letting off
Actual
fireworks
flares.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, flares.
I remember for our finals, in the finals in Israel, there was a trash bin on fire to start the game. So and the vents only really worked on one side of the court. So on their side, it was straight smoke. And then you run across half court and be like, oh my gosh, I can breathe again.
Yeah, I remember my dad took videos. Like Q said, he's always there for the championship or something.
Yeah.
But did they were like throwing you on their shoulders, I think, or like your teammates were outside the bus or something, and they were everybody was outside the stadium. It was a great experience after you guys won. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, winning the cup final in Israel, it was amazing. And after, we went to the city hall of Herzliya, and the fans were there. It was crazy. There was, champagne. There was, I don't know, things. Just, everything was going on. It was crazy. And, I don't even know how to really explain it. It was, you had to be there. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yo.
So, looking back through your career and what the future holds, do you kind of have an idea on how many more years you want to play, or once your playing years are done, do you want to get into coaching or focus on your kid more? What kind of is it?
Yeah, that's a great question, and something that I think when I was 23, I didn't think about as much as I now wish I would have, or wish, whatever. But as far as how long I'm going to keep playing, I know I'm towards the end of my career rather than the beginning of the career. And now as a father of two and being 29 and, knowing that we've had 7 years already, it's, I'm like, wow, this has been a long time I've been doing
it's
this.
crazy. I was looking at this. I'm like, 7 years?
7 years. And I mean, just talking about high school and college, it's like, wow, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
It has been a minute. But, honestly, it's just, wherever God takes us. And as far as how long, we'll see. Like, as far, mindset. I mean, I don't plan on being 40 and playing, or 37 or something like that. I think a few more years, and obviously it depends on too the situation as far as where we're at, family and stuff like that, how that's going. My son Ez is now 3, so think about that. But thank goodness Julie's a school teacher, so we got teaching at home if we need it. But as far as after, there's a lot of different things that I want to pursue and stuff like that. Coaching is definitely one of them, whether it be, pro, college, high school, AAU coach, having an AAU program. For me in basketball, I definitely won't get away from it, whether it's, training, starting a facility, whatever that may be. My brother and I have some things in the works, so, we're excited for that to happen in the future. And outside of it, I'm really just trying to serve and impact as many people's lives as I can. I mean, honestly, seeing you guys do this is encouragement for me as well. I mean, you guys are 18 and doing this, and a lot of people don't have the thought to even do it, or have the willpower to, hey, I can do this. I'm, like having an own podcast and, doing this, like you guys are an inspiration to me as well. So after basketball, we'll see. I don't like to put myself in a box, and anything is a possibility, really.
You mentioned your brother Amani. He's one of the best safeties in the NFL. He plays for the Tennessee
Yes.
Titans. How is it watching him? Just kind of, I've heard him say his biggest role model, and without you, I think we can all agree that he probably wouldn't be in the position he is today. How is it seeing him take off?
Man, it's just, I'm not shocked. I mean,
Yeah.
if you know Amani, you wouldn't be shocked, because he finds a way, and he it's just really awesome to see him do what he's doing, and the man that he's becoming, and the family that he's leading, and just seeing him not only just play at a high level, but be a high level just person in general, and that's just awesome. I'm excited to see a game live at one point,
Exactly, and that's another thing that's tough about, like you said, that's a hard thing too.
But no, man, I'm super proud of him, and I mean, he's still young, which is crazy.
What, 24?
No,
23?
25.
Oh, 25. But still.
26.
Still.
His birthday's coming up. Yep.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So no, he's doing his thing, and it's
Oh, yeah.
especially as one of the best safeties in the league too, and
Signing a new contract.
Yeah, so he's nothing but blessings over there, man, and nothing but love for him, and just seeing him do his thing and what he loves at a extremely high level. It's pretty amazing.
Maybe we'll get a Monty on the pod.
Yeah,
soon. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he'd love that.
Were you guys pretty competitive growing up?
Oh yes. Oh,
Everything
yes.
everything was a competition.
Everything. I mean, from basketball to football to Nerf gun fights to, I can't tell you how many times I got shot in the eye from a bullet. His aim is incredible with the Nerf gun. He actually made me stop playing Nerf guns. I wouldn't do it anymore. Even to this day, Ez can't have Nerf guns. Kind of traumatic. But no, we were very competitive. And it wasn't just me and him. It really started with our sisters, our older sisters, Chelsea and Bree. Like, I mean, they're scary. Nah, like they really set the tone, and it's really funny because for our family, just like we just kind of got better. Each kid kind of got better, and Chelsea really led the way with basically just getting us in sports and high school doing that. And Bree, she was an amazing athlete, and played college too, soccer, and I mean, she was a high-level track athlete, too.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I know she did track.
Yeah, so, and basketball, too, I mean. But, so we were a very competitive family. I mean, if we were playing outside, we knew who lost by who came in first because they was crying. So, even my dad.
What are, I mean, you've had a very successful career so far. Speak just a little bit on how you go about your day, whether that's in season, out of season, habits, routines, just to stay at a high level and be able to perform at a high level.
Really, it's doing the little things that really add up, whether it's, okay, so, I mean, day to day, the main things for me are taking care of the body, right? Like this is my job, this is my profession. So whether that goes to eating right, it's getting, okay, with kids, it's tough to get the right sleep, but, try to take a nap if you can. But, as far as physically, having the right, stretching routine, making sure I'm with the right people, like I said, training in the summer. And as far as everything else, staying locked in with, the mental side of things, watching film, even in the off season, making sure that I'm continuing to get better. And I think that's person to person. I know some guys that don't touch a ball all summer, until 3 weeks until they have to go back or whatever. And, that works for them. I think the main thing is finding your own routine and work ethic that works for you. That's probably the best thing I can say for, athletes trying to get to the next level. Everybody is different. Your body is different. Your mind is different. You work different. If you're gonna be different, you gotta act different, and so that's mainly my thing, is finding your way to go through a day and knowing your body and mind can be at the high level. Yeah.
Got any wise words for young athletes listening? Some young hoopers that want to be the next Quinton Hooker. Any advice that Ray gave you as a young kid that stuck with you?
I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is the times you don't want to do something or the times you got to do it the most. I mean, I can't remember the first time my dad said it, but I mean, I said it. I still say it. I say it to Ez already. He's 3, right? And I mean, that's just something that stuck with me from the moment my dad really said that to this day, because fighting through those times of, hey, like, I don't want to go do this, or hey, I'm too tired. Hey, I don't have the resources to do it. I don't have a great spot or whatever to do what you need to do. And really, those are the times that you get, the most out of the situation. And I would say, along with that, just continue to find your way. And for me, faith has always been the, foundation of, who I am and what I do. And, just being able to trust God's plans and stay true to the process, and knowing that, if you put that work in and you have that drive and that goal and, that will in your heart to really pursue something, God will make it happen, or he won't. And so being okay with that and, really letting it go to his plans. So, I mean, there's so much I could say. I mean,
so much,
there's so much, but, really just enjoy it and have fun, because that's the main thing. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're playing a sport, it's a game.
Children's game.
It is. It's a game. And so having fun with it and making the most out of it, that's when we always play our best. That's always time you have the most fun, and don't lose sight of of who you are.
Yeah. Time flies. Man, it flies. Jeez.
It does.
Goes by quick.
Y'all are seniors, man.
No, not
Wait,
anymore.
y'all
No,
done that
yeah,
seniors?
not
Yeah,
anymore.
sheesh.
Nothing.
Oh,
Golly.
man. Graduation Sunday.
Yeah,
Look at
We
y'all.
out. Man.
goes by quick.
It sure does.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time to come out, share some
course.
insights, some stories.
Yeah.
Hopefully someone can take something away from this. I
Oh,
did.
Yeah, for sure.
So thank you for coming on. Tanner, you got anything else?
No, I mean, Q knows I love him. I appreciate you.
Love you
Thank
too,
you
man.
for coming. I mean, again, shout out Pole Tab. This is,
Great
top
setup.
level. Yeah, top level. So,
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
oh, no
Absolutely.
doubt, anytime.
Thanks everyone for listening. This is episode 14 with Quinton Hooker. See ya.